Hello, hello. I'm P. I'm here for our weekly live Animal Thoughts Live. So, this is the place where we will be discussing animal communication. We're going to be discussing possibly, supporting you in areas that you need help with your own animals. And I'm also going to just open the space, so if you have any questions that you have about animal communication, then I'm here right now for you to answer those questions. So welcome. As you're coming in, give me a wave and let us know where you are in the world and what you want to know. Why are you here? Why did you show up? Then I just happened to come up into your feed and you're like, oh, okay, I'll listen to that. I'm on my way home. Or is there something that you really want to know about? Is there some part of animal communication? Shout out to Richard. I haven't seen you for ages, Richard. How are you doing? Are you busy? Um, Love to hear from you and hear how you're getting on. And so I'm here with you. I'm currently live on Facebook right here and also live on Instagram up here. And I'm going to be talking about animal communication. My name is P. Horsley. I am an animal communicator working professionally for 18 plus years. And I have 3 books published. I have a TEDx talk you can listen to on YouTube. I've got a beginner's animal online course called Animal Communication Made Easy, where you can take it at your own pace and work through the different modules and do all the homework and listening to the meditations and all the guidance in that course. I also have a membership called The Pride, which you're very welcome to join. We meet every month. We work together as the most amazing community, listening to a different species of the animal kingdom every month, depending on who is coming forward. Hi, Anne. I see you. Yeah, and there's lots of other ways that I want to share animal communication, interspecies communication with you and help you understand it better. And also, if you wish to become animal communicators for whatever reason, that I'm here to support you. And that's really the main reason that I'm doing these weekly lives with you every Monday. So, where are you in the world? Tea and Paint is in Hertfordshire. Katie, bless you. Thank you for your kindness. Where are you based? We have Piper. Hi, Piper from Maryland. Jill from Norwich. We've got Annette from Sweden. And Delphina is now in Sardinia. Beautiful. And Rima, who's our Pride membership coordinator. She's our community manager. She is now in Portugal. Woohoo! She made it. She has moved from the US to Portugal. Bless you for doing that. Now you're on my time zone, or rather, we're on the same time zone. So I'm really happy about that. We also have Anne in Belgium here. And Olja from the Netherlands, Pat from Colorado. So welcome everybody. Jenny from Victoria, BC. It's lovely to see you all coming in. I received a couple of emails last week about my books, people asking questions about them. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to have a recap on this. And also, just bear in mind, Christmas is coming. So if you wish to have one of these books that you don't have, or you want to gift one, now's a good time to do that. You could ask your friends, your family, this is the book I want for Christmas. So this is my first one, which is Heart to Heart. Incredible and heartwarming stories from the woman who talks to animals. I didn't make that up. I love this book. I actually wrote this. It was published in 2010, so this has been around a long time. And it came about because I helped a dog called Marmite be found. He was missing. He'd been missing for a week. He was physically 100 miles away from me, and I communicated with him as I do for all of my clients' communications. I communicated with him via his photo and used that as my point of reference to connect with him intuitively, and then using beginner techniques but also intermediate and advanced techniques to find him, to locate him. And within a couple of hours he had been reunited with his guardian. The fire brigade were involved. It went on whatever feed the emergency services used that was picked up by newspapers and journalists, and a publisher found out, and then I was offered a book deal. So that's kind of how this book came about. So it includes Marmite's story in detail, how long he'd been missing, where his guardians thought he was, and the techniques I used to find him and to reunite them. And it includes lots of other stories in it. So this is a book that has real life case studies in it, basically, communications that I did with my clients' animals. And it also talks about how I discovered animal communication myself, because I'd never heard of it. I was a theatre stage manager, and I'd been doing that job for 15 years, and then something in my heart said, I want to get back to my first love. I want to get back to animals. And so I adopted Morgan, who you're going to meet in a minute, and the rest is history, really. So this is the first book. This is a great book if you have never heard of animal communication. You're listening, you're tuning in right now thinking, what is this woman talking about? Or you really want to know how I work with my clients and how I help them, and the ways that I do that. You might need a few tissues. It's emotive, but then communicating with animals is emotive. That's the first one. The second one, and this is Morgan that I wanted to introduce you to, because he introduced me to animal communication. That's a story for a whole nother time. But it is in Heart to Heart, that story of how I discovered animal communication. And then this book is The Animal Communicator's Guide Through Life, Loss and Love. And this is the book that Morgan wanted me to write for people who have gone through any kind of animal loss, or maybe you're facing animal loss and you want to do the best that you can for the animals who you love, and you want to know how to do that. You want to know, what is it they need from you? What support do they need? How do they feel about end of life? And how do they feel about transitioning and afterlife? And how can I best support them when their spirit has left their physical body, which animals call a vessel? And also, how can I support myself? How can I manage to get myself through this? Because this is hard, especially if you have pre-grief, which is that anticipatory grief where you know that your animal is dying, that they are going to be transitioning. So it's like you're grieving already for them, even though they're still with you. And it's really hard when you're doing palliative care. And so the animals talk about that. So this is a book that's full of true stories where animals are talking about what they need from us and how they view dying and death and the afterlife. And it's got a lot of humor in it, because animals do have a different take on their body and transitioning. And it's full of lots of different ways for you to support them and to feel like I'm holding your hand and he's holding your hand with his paw as you're facing this part of your journey with your own animal, and to support you in that grieving process after, which, as we know, is really hard. So that's The Animal Communicator's Guide Through Life, Loss in Love. Give me a shout out if you've read this book. Drop it in the comments now. Let me know if you've read it, why you picked it up. in any way that it has helped you. And then my third book is Animal Communication. I've got all these stickers, just ignore that. I just like marking bits in books. The Animal Communication Guide Made Easy. It is the same name as the course that I offer. If you want to do a self-paced online course, work through the modules by yourself. It has got worksheets, downloads, meditations, lots of guidance. This is the how-to book. This is me holding your hand and taking you through the different steps in order for you to then be able to practice communicating with your beloved animals, your dog, your cat, your horse, your hamster, your goat, your llama, whoever it is. Maybe you've got a gecko, maybe you've got a python. You can use the same method to communicate with your animals who are with you in their physical body. And I also take you through how to communicate with them if they have transitioned, so if they're now in spirit. And also, if you've got any blocks, if you've got any hurdles, if it's not flowing like you would like it to, I also share with you ways to help you manage to navigate past those hurdles that you might experience. So that's another book for you. If you haven't got it, you can ask for it for Christmas. You could just go and order it right now. We've probably got the link in the bio. If not, we put it in the bio. And I know that Rima is kindly dropping some links into Facebook comments. So if you want to just click there, you'll find the books, you'll find the online course. Okay, so Mary Lee's written, great book. Unfortunately found it after my dog had passed of cancer 4 years on, still missing him. Oh, Mary Lee, much love to you. At least you have found it, you know, because if you invite another animal into your life, maybe you have already, you'll be a bit more prepared. You'll know from the animal's point of view what they feel about it and how to take care of them in the best way possible. Sunita Gatica in Argentina is saying, I'm not sure I can buy those in Argentina. I'm not sure, my darling. I don't know. Can you have a look on Amazon or Book Depository or Barnes and Noble? Where do you get your books from in Argentina? Look there and hopefully you will be able to get hold of them. Okay. Which one are you reading right now, Anita? I missed. Reading this one right now? Brilliant. I love that review. Which one was it? Let me know and then I can give it a shout out. All right, everyone. So, do you have any questions that you would like me to address in this session? Let me know. Put them in the comments and I will find them. Yeah, hooray for Rima in Portugal. And I think we also had someone said that they have just joined the Pride. Where are you? I'm trying to find you. Just to let you know that I also over the weekend I received some emails from people who had missed the cutoff point for joining my membership, the Pride. So I spoke to the team and we decided to open up enrollment just for 3 more days. So you've got till Wednesday at 5 p.m. UK time. If you miss that enrollment period for the Pride, then jump in quickly and become part of our amazing community. Practice your communication with different species of the animal kingdom. You'll have so many materials to support you, and the people in the Pride are just so beautiful, full of heart, really inclusive. I think that you'll really love it. Rima, if you can drop that, I know I'm surprising you, I'm sorry, but if you can drop the link in for the Pride, join up, that would be great from my website. And also, I think on Instagram, we've put it back up so you can click on it in the bio. Oh, so there's somebody on Instagram. Hi. I was given Life Lost Love quite some years ago as a gift, and I have been following you since. I also read the guidebook. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I'm glad that you're still here and you're following me, Animal Communication. Anita said brilliant for this book. Thank you, Anita. This book apparently is brilliant. Love you, Anita. And also Jill said, I've read the second book, which I was drawn to, and it was amazing. So that's Animal Communicators Guide Through Life, Loss and Love. Okay. All right. I'm looking at your questions now. Things that you are concerned about. Someone said, I keep on trying to understand if I'm doing the right thing by not assisting my dog Doris. So the only way you're going to know if you're not doing the right thing is to ask Doris, what does she want? How does she feel in her body? Because sometimes they look like they're struggling, but they have such a zest for life and to live that they're on a bit of a roller coaster towards the end of their life, and they might just be in a down part of the roller coaster, and they know, because they know their bodies really well, that they're going to come up. So I encourage you to communicate with Doris. Well, if you need, I understand. So you keep asking. If you need support on that, I am available. I am doing communications for people at the moment. So if you need my support, just reach out via my website and I'll see if I can help you and Doris. All right. So just going to Delphina. P, I was wondering when and how do you react to unacceptable human behavior towards aspects of nature? For example, when you see a dog being pulled in a way that is hurtful, an animal getting hit. Oh, that's hard, isn't it? I'll answer this, and I'm also inviting you. How would you react to what you perceive as unacceptable human behavior towards aspects of nature? I'll tell you my story about the crab with this, and I'll tell you my story about Morgan, just to give you a sense of how I react, because it's me reacting. I was on a beach in Egypt. I was running a wild dolphin communication retreat back in 2014. This was ages ago. And I was sitting there just incredibly grateful for my life that I was sitting on this beach in Egypt, having just been snorkeling with dolphins. And then I was looking at this crab, and this crab was looking at me, and it came up the beach towards me. I was the only person there. And it's coming up the beach towards me, and it stopped in front of me, and I heard this crab say, "Get off my beach." And I was a bit taken aback, to be honest, because I was going to go, "Hi, how are you?" And then I had this at me, and then it turned around and it went back towards the shore. I'm like, "Oh, okay, territorial, or doesn't like me." And then two men came along, and they saw this same crab, and they went to try and pick it up, and the crab managed to get away, and he ran into the water, and they went in after him and they picked him up. What can I use to demonstrate this? I'll use my candle. They picked him up, and then they held him upside down and were talking about him. And I was there on the beach going, no, not only have you chased this poor crab into the water, you're now holding him up high in the air where he's not used to being, and holding him upside down. He must be terrified. So I stomped over and I said, "What are you doing with that crab?" And they stopped and they lowered him down. They still had him in their hand. And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because that crab is going to feel really uncomfortable being held up in the air upside down." And this guy did turn around to me and said, "Oh God, you're not vegan, are you?" And I wasn't actually at that point. And I just said, "Put the crab down." And he did. And the crab scuttled off to some rocks and hid. And then they kind of shrugged and tutted and they walked on. And I was like, and then I walked back and I sat down. And then this crab walked up, came out after a while. He walked up the beach back to me, and I heard a thought form in my mind, "Thank you," and then turned around and went back to the rocks. And so that is an example of how I react to what I think is unacceptable human behavior. There was also another time where Morgan was on the common and there was a picnic and there was a mum and her daughter and, part beagle. And one minute he's tootling around and he's really close to me, and then he gets a whiff and he trundles off. And he goes straight into the picnic and he wants to obviously find something that he shouldn't be eating. And I'm walking to get him and pull him out. But instead, I see the young girl hitting him with something like a stick that she had, and she's hitting him. And I am now screaming and running and saying, "Don't do that," and say, "You never hit a dog." And the woman goes ballistic at me, and I've got Morgan, and we walk away as she's still going ballistic at me. And I'm saying, "You are always kind to animals." So that's kind of what I do, Delphina. I do think there are times when I take a judgment call, and I don't always get involved if I think it's going to be worse for the animal. But I do get involved quite a bit. Probably because there's this instinct in me that is just so maternal for animals. I don't have it for babies and children, but if I see an animal, everything in me goes, "I want to care for you, I want to nurture you, I want to express empathy and compassion for you," that I just really struggle with anyone treating animals badly. Probably why I'm an animal communicator. So I hope that helps, Delphina. Let me know. I'm going to look for more now. So we have a question here. Oh, she's not here. Are animals clairvoyant? Do they know how their lives are going to turn out, and also their death and sickness? I'm going to ask an animal this. And in fact, let's do a communication together. This is what I feel drawn to. Let's do a communication where we all ask an animal, do they know how their lives are going to turn out? So join me now. Even if this is brand new to you, then just join me. I want you to have your hands relaxed in your lap, straight back, feet on the floor. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. And I encourage you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Twice more, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I want you to think of an animal who you love. Place your left hand over your heart, emphasizing that connection with your heart, with your love for them. Maybe it's a species that you love. Think of an animal you'd like to communicate with right now, who you're going to ask this question of. And just keep breathing and relaxing into your heart space, thinking of your love for this animal, having the intention you're going to communicate with them. Imagine this love now is growing bigger and bigger out of your heart, and it's beaming out in all directions from your body in a beautiful, brilliant light, any color that's resonating with you. And you say to this animal, I would love to communicate with you. And I would like to ask you, are you aware of how your life is going to turn out? Are you aware of how your life is going to turn out? And when you receive something, maybe just take a quick note so that you don't have to remember it. And then ask this animal any question that you have about end of life, about an animal's end of life. What is it that you would like to ask them? Maybe you'd like to ask them, how do you feel about death? What is the most important thing for your guardian to know about your end of life? And if it's you, what is the most important thing for me to know about your end of life? And then I want you to thank this animal or thank this species. Hold the intention that you are surrounding them in a beautiful bubble of your love, offering so much gratitude for engaging with you in this communication. And then release your left hand. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. And open your eyes. And I invite you to put your communication in the comments. Particularly the first one. Let's start there. Are you aware of how your life will turn out? What did the animals say to you? Are you aware of how your life is going to turn out? This was a question on Instagram. Wondering if animals are clairvoyant. I asked Morgan this question, and he said yes and no. The focus is on the now, not so much about tomorrow. Pat said her dog said, I don't worry about it. As humans do, life is good. Hyper said, no, every day was an adventure like yours. Someone here said they do not have a map of their life. And Ave said, Juliet says she doesn't think in terms of how life turns out as I'm immersed in each present moment. Yeah. Susie had the same as me. Anita asked a squirrel, live for today, and lots of. The cat said, no, I don't think about it. Anita. Yeah. Delphina said, I asked Ginger, my part-time cat in Switzerland, who just pops in when she wants. Are you aware of how your life's going to turn out? There are some key points in the greater lines, yes, but tell me, is it not way more exciting to not know? Aren't the twists and turns not what makes life interesting? Even if I would know, why would I want to know and take out all the surprises? Okay, yeah, sorry, they said we don't have a map of our life, but we sense the near future. Yeah, exactly. And a deer spoke to Black Moon. We live in the moment, no thoughts of past or future, so we live as per the flow of nature. If she at any point wants us to, we know, we respect, and carry on with her wishes. These are great communications. Well done. Angelica said he cannot foresee because he lives in the now and that's what he sees. Sarah said, which animals are you talking to? The answer was yes, I'm in the right place right now. Trust all will be revealed. I love that Algis is careful about spiders, careful with them around the house. Welcome to everybody joining. Don't worry, you're not too late. I believe in divine timing. I'm also here next week and the week after that, 6 p.m. UK time, which is about 30 minutes ago. Then we asked your own personal question. What did you ask your animal? I asked, how do you feel about death? The response I had was, it is. And then eventually, part of life. So what were you asking them? Isabella, you were talking to suffering bears. What did you ask them, my love? And what did they communicate? Sarah was talking to her rescue dog, Ari. Sylvia's cat said, yes, my life will end in hospital, which she translated as a vet. But he also said, I didn't want to think about it. I enjoy life so much. I also want you all to know that animals change their minds. They, like us, they might have a certain way that they've planned out. They might have communicated that to us. And then they might, at the last moment, just go, actually, no, I'm not ready to pass over. Or, no, I don't need it like that. Or, actually, I do need intervention. I actually do need your support with this. And for a vet to euthanize. And there might be an animal that going, no, I'd rather struggle. I want to go by myself. This is really important to me. So I really want to invite you to be open and to communicate all the time, not all the time actually, because Morgan told me off. It's like, oh, just not all the time. Stop asking me all the time. Every now and again, ask your animal, is there anything you want me to know? Are we all good? Is everything the same? Is there any changes? Um, that would be the easiest way to ask, I think, and the most welcome without making it too heavy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And this person was told death is a new beginning, it's a cycle. Yeah. There's definitely some animals in this book, or it might have been Morgan even, that have said the same thing about death. Katie said, I wonder what dogs think of those communication buttons. Are you talking about those buttons, Katie, that they sit on the floor and an animal goes, press that button and I want to eat, or press that button, I want to go for a walk? They drive me mad, honestly. They drive me mad because it's like, oh no, this is dog training again. Why are we not intuitively communicating with animals in the way that, yeah, the way that they communicate with us? Why are we not open to that? We're in 2024 and we are part of nature, able to communicate with all of life. And we need to get our act together, is how I feel. Okay, am I being too outspoken tonight? Something's got me into me on the 4th of November. I was just like, no, put them in the bin, get rid of the buttons. Just communicate with your animals. Ask them, or let them say to you and just come to you. Okay. Um, moving on. I'm sure there's a world for those buttons, but only if it's a step to intuitive communication. Yeah, okay. So Pat says, as a dog trainer and animal communicator, I agree. We don't need the gadgets. Animals certainly don't need the gadgets. They're really so patiently, dogs particularly, waiting for us to just like, get with the program, humans. Come on. Just talk to me. I'm listening. Or some of them don't because they get so frustrated and bored that we just are not, we've taken so long to realize that they can communicate with us. All right. Any other questions that you have that you would like me to cover? Let me just scroll back. Um, yeah, Anita, just communicate with any creatures that come to you, or communicate with the trees and the plants, and just allow your heart to be filled up with love again. And when it's full again, you'll know. You'll know when you're ready, if you're ready. I know for certain there are so many animals in sanctuaries, in kennels, in cages, just desperate for someone to come by and go, you're part of my family now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to love you. You're going to have food. You're going to have comfort. We're going to have fun. We're going to go on adventures. So when your heart is ready, then please, please go and find an animal that needs you, because there are so many that need you. Okay. We have a question here from Genuine Jess. How to be a great listener? Okay. A great animal communicator listener. Jess, just give me a little bit more detail of what you're seeking there, and I will try and answer you. Algis says, Native Americans always suggest you find your animal guide for a better life. Yeah. allowing more info from their perspective to flow in. Um, yeah, okay. So this really is about practicing all the different senses. So it's sensory meditation. So it's going. I'll cover this in depth actually in the 14-day challenge, animal communication challenge that I do. That is available for you free. We'll put the link in Facebook. I'm not sure whether it's in my bio here. If it's not, I'll put that back in for you. You're only allowed 5 links in the bio, which is a real pain. Unless there's another way that I don't know, then share it with me. But in my 14-day challenge, I take you through the sensory meditation, essentially, day by day. And it's about honing those different pathways, Jess, so that the information can reach you, so that you can receive information in more than one way and become a better listener, because the information that you're receiving from an animal is multi-layered. It could be a thought form that you receive in your mind with your inner voice, or slightly different. It could be an emotion that you feel. It could be the physical sensation inside your body. It could be the smell, the taste, the images, the video, and also the gut knowing. It could be all these things. And if you haven't taken my challenge, it's just a very easy to do 14-day animal communication challenge. Go to animalthoughts.com and / in fact I won't even say that bit, just go to animalthoughts.com, and on that first page, my home page, just scroll down and there's a link where you can click and you can start taking it. And that's there for anybody who wants to take that challenge when you're ready. The thing is, you can start whenever you want, but you need to do it consistently. So you pick your 14 days and then you do it every single day. You get an email every single day with, this is the task of today. This is the thing that you need to do. Piper says, it is wonderful. Thank you, Piper. Oh, so much love from you today. All right, another question. I'm sure it's the one back here. I don't even know if I understand this question. How do you communicate with an animal in person? I can only communicate via Zoom or a phone. I wonder, is that because that's the only way you practiced, or was that the first way that you entered into experiencing animal communication? So it's become your comfort blanket? Because we all have them. We all have our little, what do you call yours? Noodle, nanny, doo-doo? What do you call your comfort blanket? I didn't have one. I had a teddy bear. Of course I did. I think you have to just dive in. You have to, if you have your own animal, have them with you. Have them with you and start communicating with them. And Ruby, Binky. People have such funny names, don't they? Anybody else got a name for their comfort blanket? You know what I'm talking about, people. Don't ignore me. You know what I'm talking about. That little bit of fabric, that whatever it was that you used to hold on to and often used to just sleep with or suck on. What was it called? Nobody in Instagram is admitting that they even had one. Okay, so you practiced in Zoom first. So this is what I think. I think that this has become your comfort blanket. And do, thank you. Hug rug, slappy, noni. So most people start by communicating with animals from photos, but you've done it with Zoom first. So there's a point where you have to take that extra step outside your comfort zone and go, right, I'm going to practice. But just set it up so that it's kind of an easier practice. So maybe with one of your friends' animals, um, so that you can then get that verification as well. And there's no pressure because they're your friend and they know that you're practicing and that you're having another go at this. Blanky, yes. Now we're talking. Annette's like, I don't even know what you girls are talking about here. Okay. This person had a frog, a quacky, no blanket, quacky. Yeah, I had a Ted. I had Ted. A slappy. Okay, more questions. We're really going off piece now. There was another one I saw that I wanted to answer. I don't know where it's gone. We've probably got time for a couple more. Yeah, I mean, Alga says, I forget what it is right now, but there is a frequency that brings you better contact with animals. Yeah, it's love. Honestly, it's love. Love is the frequency. Love is the frequency of the universe. It's the way that we connect. Oh, Bettina's like me. She didn't have a blankie. She also had a teddy bear. Do you still have your teddy bear, Bettina? Will you admit to us live on Facebook? Have you ever had an animal that was mainly mirroring the guardians rather than it being the animal's issue? Yeah, of course. Yeah. In fact, it was my first home visit, and I went to see a woman in North London. I went to see her cat, and it became really obvious. I don't want to go into details, but it became really obvious that the cat was mirroring the guardian, and so a lot of that communication was being incredibly sensitive and diplomatic in the way that I shared the information to empower and to support rather than the opposite. Okay, any other questions? Annette, what do you mean? How often do I have to talk to an animal? In what regard? Oh no, Isabella had a teddy, but her mum threw it out. I'm gutted for you. I'm gutted for you, honey. Fiona's still got her teddy bear. Me too. I've admitted it now. Now, Sylvia is saying, I first learned to communicate with animals through a CD 10 years ago by just sending my thoughts. Later, I did a course where we were guided to invite them to an imaginary place. It worked well. But now it's become very difficult to talk to them directly. When it becomes difficult, when we feel like it's not happening, what do you think is really going on there? So there are times when you're communicating and it's fine and it's easy, and then there are times where it's very difficult. Why is that? What do you feel is happening with you or with the animal or with the session? Just whatever first comes to your mind, put that in the comments, and we'll look at this in our last 5-10 minutes. Maybe not connecting with your heart. I think it's my self-doubt. I keep expecting an answer. The question is, if you find that the animal communication is not happening for you, Delphine knows it's not really you. If it's becoming really difficult and you're just not getting anything, what do you think is happening? Pat says, I feel like I'm letting my emotions block the communication. Maybe when we're too busy, me getting stressed and overthinking. Jill said, for me, it's when I am consumed with thoughts or overwhelmed, and then I go and try to ground myself and come back. Brilliant. Only difficult to talk with my own cat. An animal could be hesitant too. Or when I'm physically very tired, the reception is not good. Over trying. So these are all really valid reasons, aren't they? That you're sharing with each other, which is brilliant. So communication is harder when we are stressed, when we're tired, when we're over trying, when we're overthinking, when we've got preconceptions, judgments, expectations. Because we are not in the neutral zone. We are not relaxed with enough energy to go into that quiet, meditative state where we can connect heart to heart intuitively with another being. So, what would be beneficial? In what way, or ways more likely, can we set ourselves up so that we are in the best possible starting point to communicate with our own cat or with an animal in a different way that's not Zoom? What do you think? What's the first thing that comes to you? Share it. Share it with us now in the comments. How do you set yourself up for the best possible communication? So, meditate and clear your mind. What other reasons? They're kind of like the opposite of what you just put in as the problems. What are the solutions? Maybe not have expectations. Exactly. Trust. Sit in the power, self-care, self-love, keeping it heart-centered, keeping it light, meditating together. Sit quietly on the sofa. Yep, if that's what works for you. Surrender. Yeah. No attachment to results. Now, this is a really good one from Katie. Go to no expectation station. I've never heard it called that. No expectation station. Breathe and relax and smile at the animal and see where it goes. This is great. Relax and expand your heart. Calm. After a physical workout, if that works for you, melt into yourself. Yes, that sounds weird. No, it's good. Melt into yourself. Respecting the animal's choice to talk or not. Exactly. Trust and calm mind. So these are all the solutions, aren't they? So these are all the things to bear in mind if you are finding that intuitive interspecies communication is just not flowing for you. Then these are the things to focus on. You could write out a little sheet, a little like check sheet. And then if you can tick them off, am I in the neutral zone? Am I in the no expectation station? Am I calm and trusting? Am I relaxed? Am I sitting in the place where I feel good in order to communicate with an animal? Do I have time to do this right now? Does the animal want to? Have I even asked them if they want to communicate with me right now? Or are they busy? Too busy sleeping or hunting, whatever it is they're doing. Openness, not pushing. Make it playful and light at first. Yeah. Just think about conversations that you have. You know, the easier ones are the ones where it's fun, right? You know, when it's light. You can always get to the deeper stuff, but let's start off with the fun stuff. Let's go there first. The deeper stuff will definitely, that will come. That will come. Oh, wonderful. I hope that has helped. So we have practice communicating with an animal and asking about end of life during this session, asking about death. We've looked at all the reasons why animal communication may not be happening, why it's very difficult, and the different ways to become a better listener in animal communication. And we've looked at the solutions, the things that are going to help us when we are communicating with animals, whether it is an animal that we know in the physical body, through photograph, through Zoom, remotely, or an animal in spirit. I hope that's helpful. Please share it with your friends, and please join me next week. And if you think about questions that you might have, write them down and bring them next week, and we will look at those. Much, much love to you, to your animals. Join me now in just coming into gratitude, placing your palms together, eyes closed, feet on the floor, breathing in, breathing out. Sharing our gratitude with all the animals of this beautiful planet, with Mother Nature, with all of her beings. Honoring and respecting the diversity of life, and that different is needed. Honoring the elements, honoring the Fae, all of the beings in and amongst us, honoring those animals, Buffalo, who's here with us in circle, honoring your animals, my animals, honoring yourself, your beautiful heart, your wonderful life on this planet, this present moment, with so much gratitude for us together in this shared moment. Our hearts entwined, our energy merged, because our souls chose to be here together in this moment for a reason. Breathing in, breathing out, opening your eyes, releasing your hands. So much love to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this space with me, for diving into animal communication, interspecies communication, and I hope to see you again next Monday, same time, on Instagram, on Facebook, 6 p.m. UK time, whatever that is with you, wherever you are in the world. Much love. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care. See you next Monday, if not sooner.